Well, it first started in April 2019. It started out slowly. At first, I couldn't get into my Facebook. And then it was my email. And then it was my school account. And I got back into those accounts, but then it happened all over again. Well, I met him in June 2013, and I had met him, like, talked to him before. Like, he was in the army, and my sister had married his friend who was also in the army. So that's how we originally met in 2007. But it wasn't until 2013 where I actually came to the US and we started a relationship. The abuse began, I think, the first week, and it didn't start out like really like fast. It was slow. And because if it would have happened really fast, I would have left immediately, but it didn't happen that way. I became almost desensitized, and I became used to it being slowly, over time, like a long period of time, like years. And so by the time, like, in 2018, it was to the point where, like, I was starting to recognize, you know what, this situation is not normal. Like, I wasn't allowed to go anywhere. I wasn't allowed to have friends. I wasn't allowed to do anything on my own. So my children, they were born in both in 2015, and at the time, like, I was so busy going to school and taking care of them that it didn't really bother me that I didn't wasn't allowed to go out anywhere. But when in 2018, once the abuse like really began, I started to try and make an exit plan. So the exit plan consisted of me putting money away in a bank account. And he didn't know about it. But then he eventually did find out, and I explained it to him that I was saving for we were saving for a house, which he somewhat accepted, but he wasn't happy about it. By the end of 2018, the abuse became very physical, and by January 2019, I had put enough money away, and I was going to leave. So March 23rd, he came home with his girlfriend, and she had grabbed me, and I had my registered gun, and I took it out of my purse, and I went outside and I emptied the whole entire clip in the air. I told her to get out of my house and to take him with her. Shut the door. When the police knocked on the door about an hour and a half later, I had no idea why they were even there. They had collaborated both of their stories to say that I was abusing him, which was completely not true. I was then arrested and taken to jail. He used that as an excuse to abuse me further. Like, the abuse got significantly worse by that time. So April 9th, 2019, he threw a can of powdered milk to my head, and cut my head. And I went to a domestic violence shelter. DSS, that's the Department of Social Services, they came to the safe home and to take my children away. And that's when I decided that I was going to take the kids and leave him and go back home to Canada. No, the problems with the accounts began when I went to leave him, like when I was on my way to Canada after I was charged.